Miss Transformers 96 here. Within the video, I'm going to be talking about some new items shown from New York Toy Fair 2017. In this video, I'm specifically going to be talking about the Clayface wave from Mattel. I am making a separate video talking about the Wonder Woman movie wave with the Ares Collect and Connect figure. But in this video, I'm just going to be focusing purely on the wave with Clayface as the Collect and Connect. So let's get on with it. This Mattel, just so you know, I'm not a huge fan of. I don't really collect many Mattel figures. I used to, and I don't anymore. However, their Build-A-Figures have really been catching my eye. So, but before we talk about this Build-A-Figure, let's go over the figures in his wave. First off, we have Jessica Cruz, she's just another version of Green Lantern. This looks pretty nice, and it looks like a solid figure. You know, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, their comic figures look much better than their movie figures because obviously they're not trying to capture movie likenesses and they're not trying to capture movie details. You know, they're doing flat drawing representations in figure form. So their comic figures definitely do look a lot better. I'm just not as interested in DC comics outside of Batman as I am with Marvel, which is why I really don't collect Mattel. But as you can see, this looks like a nice figure. I think it looks quite solid. Also, their articulation just isn't at the standard that Marvel Legends is at as well. So just no matter what, they don't seem to be great. But I do like her hair. I think it's quite nice the way it's sculpted, and I love the fact that it's black with those blue kind of like highlights in it. I think that's very nice. And then I do love the little kind of like power accessory piece that she comes with that hopefully can like attach to her hand and make it look like it's like coming out of the ring. That would be super cool. I think that's great. If they start using effect pieces, I might give Mattel some more interest because yeah, look at that, super cool. I love that. That's gonna look really great in poses, I must say. And that head sculpt looks really nice. I do like it quite a bit. So she's looking like one of the best of the wave. Then we have Superman here. This is a nice looking Superman. I'm not quite sure which comic this is from. I would imagine it's more of a modern version. But I think it looks quite nice. You know, it is on that body sculpt that Mattel usually uses, at least it appears to me, where it gets like really thin at the knees and then he has like massive feet. I'm not a huge fan of the proportions on this body sculpt. However, I do like the fact that it's all blue with darker shades of blue in some of the crevices to really make the muscles pop. I think that's very nice. And then I like the head sculpt a lot in particular. I think that's a great looking head sculpt, very stoic, and you know, obviously has the curled hair there. And then his cape is a little boring. It looks really thin and it's just hanging down straight. Wish that they went with something a little bit more dynamic with the cape. Then we have Batwoman. And you know, this is a character that I'm not actually familiar with very much at all. I don't know if I've ever even seen her, to be quite honest. But this looks like an interesting figure. It looks like just kind of a punk version of Batgirl, basically. Although this is Batwoman. Yeah, looking interesting. You know, it's a good contrast between the black and red, which looks nice. Her hair is sculpted very good, and she does come with a second head sculpt. The secondary head sculpt doesn't look great to me. That looks pretty basic. But the one with the mask on does look quite nice. That's a figure that I'm not particularly excited about in this wave, I must admit. Then we have the Clayface Build-A-Figure. Now this is looking great. I mean, the painting detail that they put into their Collect and Connect figures is so much better than they do with their regular figures. It's really crazy. But this looks like a phenomenal Build-A-Figure. I really love it, and it's a very interesting take on Clayface. It's not the typical one that we've seen before, which I love. You know, I love the fact that they are going through some that they were really going with a very strange but quite cool look for Clayface. I like the face a lot, that it's very rounded and his teeth are very visible. He looks angry, tons of expression in the face, and there's a lot of wrinkles and everything. And then the paint is excellent with it being different shades of brown throughout it. They painted it so it looks very natural together. He looks like, you know, he's flowing, which I love. You know, there's great movement just in his body alone, which is super cool. His articulation is probably going to be pretty basic. I would hope that he has some sort of swivel at the arm, because I don't see a swivel at the elbow or bicep, so hopefully it's not just like a hinge for the elbow. I do hope that his arms can swivel out. and so, you know, fingers crossed for that. He does come with a few accessories, which is an axe interchangeable hand, and then like a mace interchangeable hand, which is very nice. You can see a bit of silver on that axe there. Clayface can change the texture of his body, not only the form of it, so that is represented in the axe. It'll be interesting to see if those accessories come with like a different figure, or, you know, what I'm getting at here is it'll be interesting to see if you need to buy the figure that those extra hands come with or not. If they're just going to be packaged by themselves with another figure, then you could possibly skip that one if you don't need those extra accessories. But as well, you know what? Looking here, it looks like his he probably has a swivel there at the elbow. Okay, that's very nice. But as you can see, looking really cool. Love that head sculpt. It's a super unique and cool take on Clayface, and I love that. You know, it's different. The only one that they have on display as far as the TV show characters go is we have Martian Manhunter from the Supergirl show, which is quite nice. His costume here looks much brighter than it does on the show. At least, you know, I haven't seen him in season 2, but I did watch season 1, and from what I remember, his costume is much darker than this. It's not so bright. And then you have like that bright splash of red there and some gold. I'm not loving the colors on his costume. The face sculpt looks pretty decent though. I do like that. And he does come with a little accessory there, which I'm not quite sure. There you go. I'm not quite sure what that is, to be quite honest. If you guys know, let me know. But it looks interesting. I mean, it's nice that he comes with an accessory. And then we have Two-Face. This is obviously a very unique version of Two-Face. I'm not quite sure which comic line this is from, but I am a big fan of Batman villains, so this one does intrigue me at the very least. But he has a black and red color scheme, and he looks very different from any Two-Face I've seen. And I love the hand where he has the coin in his hand. I think that looks great. The expression that he has on his fingers is excellent. And as you can see there, the other gun is meant to hold, or sorry, the other hand is meant to hold a gun. So that looks like a very neat figure. Very cool. And there, as you can see, it's expected for spring/fall. You know, I doubt it can't be spring, so this is obviously a set that's estimated to come out in fall. So this is looking like a nice wave. You know, who knows what other figures are going to be in this wave. I really want that Clayface, and I'm not super interested in the rest of the figures, although they look nice. I don't really need them personally. So I hope that there's not many figures in this wave. That way, the less figures that there are in the wave, the more chance that I'd probably get it. I want that Clayface a lot, but I don't know if it's worth it to buy all the figures. But we'll see. I'll definitely have to judge it based on the figures in the wave, as well as if I can get any of them on a good discount or something. So there you go. That's my thoughts on the Clayface Collect and Connect figure wave. Let me know what you guys think of this wave, and especially that Clayface figure, and thanks so much for watching.